You got it? You got
Sturgeon.
it in the head?
Like
Your hot list, your hot fishing list?
The hot list. John's hot list. John's hot list coming up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we going?
Okay,
Here we
Rob
go.
Ensley here from the Outdoor Line. Nice to be joined by John Martinis from John's Sporting Goods in Everett here this morning. John, there's some fishing going on up in the North Sound, and it's not the typical blackmouth stuff that we tend to focus in on, or steelhead. You got a hot report for us here this week, man.
Rain or shine, doesn't matter how much it's blowing. Steamboat slough, a slough of the Snohomish River, sturgeon. You fish the incoming tide. Now, if you want to get in the slough, you got to launch in the Snohomish River at Langus Park, go upstream and take a left into Steamboat Slough, and then go down where Behringer Farm is, and you can tell just by the big barn. And you know, everybody thinks you're supposed to be fishing the deep holes. The sturgeon are going to be up in about 5 feet of water. They'll go settle down in the deep holes when they're not feeding, but when they're feeding, they're going to come into the sidelines.
And they're feeding on sand shrimp, right? They're sucking those sand shrimp out of those flats in there, and that's pretty much what you want to use to target these things.
Yeah, there's
right?
probably small crab in there, and there's sand shrimp and sand fleas, and there's a lot of sticklebacks in there. Just pretty much anything that they can suck out of the sand. They're right at the edge of the eelgrass, so at high tide, that's 5 feet of water.
Now keep in mind, we're talking the sloughs of the lower Snohomish River, and on high tides, those actually reverse their flow, and they flow upriver. The time you want to target sturgeon is from that high tide period on down, and fish that ebb tide in general.
That's right. You have about a 1 hour window when the fishing's going to be really good. That's about an hour before high tide and just a little bit after, till the water starts reversing itself again. And yet, remember, this time of year you have the real high tides during the daylight, where in the summertime you have real low tides during the daylight hours. So this is the time of year that brings those fish up into the sloughs. They're probably feeding on some carcasses of salmon that are still coming downstream too. So that's kind of the attraction that brings these fish up into the freshwater areas.
And you mentioned Lake Goodwin. The smoking hot trout bite going on Lake Goodwin. We talked about that on the show. We actually had one of the guys that won your book, Saltwater Fishing Journal, on the show today. Awesome book, by the way. You can find it at John's store in Everett. Guy called in, said, you know what? I'm going to Lake Goodwin today.
Yeah.
Unbelievable winter trout fishing going on.
Somebody there was going to be mad at you because there's going to be extra boat on Lake Goodwin now.
You know, it's amazing what bad weather will make fishermen do.
Oh, yeah.
What they'll do is they'll go find fish. If they're not fishing the rivers, where the rivers are too high, it's blowing too much in the salt water, they'll go to the lakes. And that's pretty much how we found out about Lake Goodwin. My contact for fishing that goes out in the salt water quite a bit, but they ended up in Lake Goodwin because they were just getting stare crazy and they wanted something to do, and it paid off 2 times in a row.
Really fortunate that your book has come out now. It's show season. A lot of guys are going to be at the Seattle Boat Show, the Western Washington Sportsman Show, and really looking to get into the sport. And in my opinion, there's no better reference if you want to start, or if you want to refine your spots and your techniques in Puget Sound and the waters surrounding it, than picking up this book. This has pretty much been your life's work, John Martinis.
Yeah, it's a 20-year collection of articles. I've refined them several times. We've had to clean up the book this time because a lot of the lures went away. A lot of the ingredients for shrimp bait went away, and so I updated the articles. I added 25 new maps and articles, and I think the people will find it to be a pretty good reference point of where to start. You know what's really nice? How does a guy get started in fishing? He knows nothing. He moves here from somewhere else, and he says he wants to go fishing. Tom, where do you start?
Exactly.
Well, you start right here. I mean, everything is in here.
Yeah.
At least on Puget Sound, I mean, you've got maps, you've got trolling lanes, you've got jigging techniques, and everything.
Well, even the basics of fish ID. Okay, I mean, we got 5 species of Pacific salmon. They look different in the saltwater than doing the rivers. And then all the maps are
crabbing techniques, shrimping techniques.
But all the maps are laid out, so there's a reference of Puget Sound, so you can quickly see where is this, and this spot's possession bar, and it shows the techniques, and it goes through that, follows that throughout the book, but not just for salmon, saltwater steelhead, shrimp, crab, bottom fish, the whole bit. You've done a great job with this.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing going on right now, kind of an obscure little fishery, we talked about this on the show today. Resident Cohos down in the Narrows, Nil Servastava at Puget Sound Flyco in Tacoma. Called him this week. He said the resident cohos are in on the beaches down there at Narrows Park. You can fly fish right from the beach. You can throw buzz bombs, pink and white little buzz bombs. I like to spray paint them chrome. Did a lot of that when I was a kid down there. It could be a fun little deal right now if you don't want to get out and fish for blackmouth or steelhead. Something else to do down in the South Sound right now, and it's accessible from the beach. So
another all-weather fishery too.
It really is. Yeah, and that'll last for a couple more months down there. Those old cohos, they'll be you know, 13 to 18 inches right now. They'll be over 20 inches here in another couple months. So pretty fun deal.
Don't forget to get your tickets for the Olympic Peninsula Salmon Derby, President's Day weekend. The Anacortes Salmon Derby tickets go on, and both these derbies tend to sell out, so don't forget to get your tickets. Of course, all this week, Seattle Boat Show, go check out what's down there. Whether you have a boat or you're shopping for a boat or accessories, it's a place you want to be. This Friday, February 3rd, is a big deal Friday. $15,000 of prizes on tap, starting at 3 o'clock next Friday afternoon. We hope to see you at the show. Tune into the Outdoor Line next week, 6 to 8 o'clock. We'll be there. Log on to theoutdoorline.com and join our forums. Of course, this video will be posted there as well. And thanks for tuning in.